as I said, just start in a nice, easy seat. Sukhasana is fine. Um, Modified hero's pose is good too. Anything that allows you to sit up nice and tall. And just start to focus on your breath. Turn your focus inward, start to notice. Draw awareness into your body. Draw awareness into your breath. Allow your sitting bones to take root into the ground. And then feel those sitting bones drawing up a little energy from the ground all the way up to the crown of your head, allowing you to grow just a few inches, maybe just an inch taller. And then allow those shoulders to drop down away from the ears, very gently pulling your heart back so it sits right above your hips. And we won't stay seated too long, but while we're here, just begin to tune into your breath. Just taking a moment to notice the quality of your breathing. Are you breathing light and shallow, or slowly and deeply? And if the breath is a little shallow and a little light, can you maybe just start to slow it down, allowing your breath to bring you in a deeper sense, presence, and focus with your physical body as we begin our practice on the mat. Maybe taking one more moment to set an intention for yourself, for your practice today. And maybe it's just as simple as honoring your physical body, being kind to yourself, honoring that first yama of ahimsa, not doing anything to cause harm or pain, being gentle. Take a nice deep breath in and a complete breath out. One more nice full breath. Empty it out. And on your next in-breath, gently lift your chin towards the sky, being careful and mindful not to crane the neck. And as you exhale, bring your chin down to your chest. Inhale, lifting the chin. Exhale and lower. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. And once you've lowered all the way down, take a second just to drop your shoulders down again. Take a nice deep breath into the upper back muscles. Exhale, find a little softness there. Gently lift your chin so that your head is facing neutral, and then roll the shoulders out a couple of times. Beautiful, shake it all off. Well, let's go ahead and come into tabletop position. So take a second just to get yourself into position here. Wrists stacked under the shoulders unless that's uncomfortable on your body and on your joints. Ideally, knees under the hips. Take your fingers, spread them out nice and wide, and press them down into the mat. Lift those ears away from the shoulders. Feel the energy from the ground to the bottom of your hands. Feel your shins pressed against the mat. Nice flat back here. And we'll take some cat-cows. On the inhale, dropping the belly down, lifting the chin. As you exhale, round those shoulders, round that spine, pull your belly in nice and tight. And again, inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. And just take this movement a few more rounds. Maybe smooth it out a little bit. Feel your breath flowing through the entire body. And we'll go one more round. And as you complete that round, just come to a nice flat back. And we'll take child's pose, bringing the big toes to touch, knees to the edges of the mat. Or you can keep your knees together and feet apart. Walk those hands forward. And allow your head, your heart to sink down towards the mat here. I'm going to keep my chin lifted so that the sound doesn't go down into my mat. And just allow yourself to sink a little deeper with each breath. Find some room, some space for the breath. Feel that groundedness of this posture. Where in your practice can you find opening? Where can you find ease? Let go of gripping. Take one more breath here. And then as you take your next breath in, slowly float back up, walk your hands in, walk your knees in, and give everything a little bop side to side. From here, take your right foot, send it to the back of your mat. Press the ball of the foot into the mat and gently allow that heel to soften down. Getting into a nice deep calf stretch here. If you need to, squeeze that quad, engage the quad. Allow for a little more deepening of the calf stretch, ankle stretch. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, shift your weight forward, pick up that right foot, toes pointing down to the mat. Find a little squaring of the hips. An option to take dancing cat, spinal balance, bring the left hand forward, and imagine pulling that right foot and left hand far away from each other, pulling everything nice and taut. Take one more breath here. Beautiful, everyone. Exhale, bring your left hand down to the mat, right knee in with a little control, and bop your hips side to side. Come back to center. Take your left foot, send it to the back of the mat, and we're going to press the ball of the foot into the mat. Breathing into the calf. Squeezing the quad if a little bit of engagement of the quad muscle helps you get a little deeper into that calf stretch. I know it does for me. Whatever works for you. Listen to your body. I'm simply a guide. Gently shift your weight forward, pick up that back foot. Nice and long in the spine, all the way to that ankle. And if you want to, if you did it on the other side, take dancing cat, spinal balance. Really reaching that right hand forward and reaching that left foot back as if you're pulling them away from each other. Everything nice and tight. Find a little lightness in this last breath in. Exhale, release that right hand down, release your left knee in, give those hips a little bop side to side. From here, tuck those toes. We're gonna lift the hips up into downward facing dog, our first downward dog of the day. And while you're here, maybe you wanna bend your knees a little bit and send those sitting bones up nice and high. Really spread your fingers wide and press them down into the mat. Take a little weight off the wrists. Pedal your feet, walk your dog if it feels good. And if not, you're always welcome to stay nice and still. Notice the length of your spine all the way down to the crown of your head. Let that head dangle nicely as you continue pedaling your feet or just staying nice and still, whatever feels best. Take 1 or 2 more pedals here. Relax those heels, lift those hips up way nice and high. And then from here, nice and easy, walk those feet forward to the top of your mat. I'm gonna stay a little far away from the top of my mat because I got a couch right in my face. Coming into ragdoll pose. So while we're here, take a moment just to notice your feet first. Notice your feet on the ground. And see if you can allow all 4 corners of the feet to be grounded into your mat. Find a little lightness in your toes. Maybe lift them up off the mat. Spread them nice and wide. Give them a wiggle. And then slowly lower them back down. Find a soft bend in the knees, especially if you have tight hamstrings. As deep of a bend allows you to relax your spine. Just enjoy this nice gentle inversion for a few moments. Hands can stay on the mat or opposite hands to opposite elbows. Notice your breath. Allow the breath to be easy. If it feels labored, see about maybe sending your breath into another part of the body, maybe into the upper back. Or you could always step out a little bit wider. 1 more breath here. If you're swaying, go ahead and find some stillness. Find that center. Release your hands down. Bend your knees nice and deeply. Press your feet into the mat. Slowly round and roll your way up. We'll speed things up in just a moment here, but just take these few moments while we're here in standing. Fix your clothes if you need to, like Jess always says. Make any wiggles or adjustments, and then from there, find your mountain pose, whatever that looks like to you. Perhaps you like your feet hip width distance, or maybe shoulder width, or you might like your feet with the big toe mounds together. Very traditional. I like mine about shoulder or hip width distance. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel your feet planted firmly on the ground, and then that gentle lift up through the instep allows you to get a little bit taller, standing with a little more purpose, drawing your belly button in nice and tight without sucking in. Shoulders relaxed. Chin tucked slightly, lifting up through the crown of the head. Take a breath here. Exhale, send some energy out your fingertips. On your next inhale, bring your arms up overhead, hands to touch. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Hands at your sides, Sam Namaskara. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands at your sides, mountain pose. Inhale, 1 more time, arms up, look up, heart lifted. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Hands at your sides. Take a breath in. Exhale, empty it out. On your next inhale, bring arms up overhead. Exhale, gentle swan dive down. Inhale, half lift, palms to shins, nice flat back. And exhale, fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale, up to extended mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart center. And hands at your sides. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Nice and flowing into that half lift. Exhale, fold. Press into the mat. Come all the way up. Hands at your heart center. Hands at your sides. Let's bring those arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, send your palms up to the sky. Feel your feet pressing into the earth as your hands press up, as if they're pushing the ceiling up a little bit higher. Like you're stretching your house out. Take one more breath here. Exhale, flip your palms gently, bring them out in front of you. Flip them again. This time facing away from you. Maybe you bring your chin to your chest. Allow your shoulder blades to relax down away from the ears and press away from the spine. Take one more breath in. Find some space. Exhale, gently lift your chin. Release those hands. Shake them out. And maybe bounce on your toes a little bit. And relax the heels. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back. We're going to lower the back knee, untuck the toes. And then bring those arms up overhead into a modified crescent lunge. If this is uncomfortable on your knee, you can take regular crescent lunge or put a pillow or a blanket under your knees. Inhale, find some lift. Find a little scooping of the tailbone so that you're lifting up and out of it rather than dumping into it. Take one breath here. Exhale, release that hand down. We're going to take a gentle half split, peeling those front toes. Exhale, plant your foot back down, front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. Right hand is going to stay on the mat or your block if you use one. Take your left arm up to the sky, twisting crescent. Beautiful. Release that left hand down. Send your left foot back into high plank. Gently lower your knees, untuck your toes. Elbows hugged in at your sides, come all the way down. Inhale to a baby cobra. Shoulders back. Exhale, come all the way down. Back into tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Take one breath here. And exhale. I always like to sigh when I'm in downward dog. It just feels good. And when you're ready, walk your feet forward. And half lift. Exhale, fold. Come all the way up, reverse swan dive. Hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Hands down at your sides. One breath here into Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, half lift. And fold, step your left foot back this time. Gently lower your knee, untuck your toes. Either bring your hands to your right knee or just go ahead and sweep them on up. Square those hips, drawing your right hip back slightly, and then scoop the tailbone under. Doesn't have to scoop under a whole lot, just a little, so that you lift yourself up. Take a breath here. On the exhale, with control, let those hands float to the ground. Peel up your front toes into that half split. Stay for a breath in. Exhale, release your foot back to the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift that back knee up. Lift your heart forward. Left hand to the mat. Right arm draws all the way up towards the ceiling or towards the side wall, whatever's most comfortable. Take a breath here. Exhale, float that right hand down to the mat and send that right foot back. High plank. Stay here for just a moment, just a breath in. And on your exhale, lower your knees, untuck the toes, hug those elbows in. Come all the way down. Inhale up to baby cobra or full cobra. Exhale all the way down. Press yourself back into tabletop. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Stay for a breath cycle or two. Just feel that length in your spine for a moment. And then when you're ready, walk, step, or hop your feet forward. And we're going to add on to that. So on your next inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it forward. Press those feet down, sweep your arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands at your sides. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Halfway lift. And fold, step your right foot back. Lower the back knee and tuck the toes. Hands to your knee or sweep the arms up all the way. Stay for one breath here. Exhale, release those hands down. Tuck the back toes, pick up your back knee. Right hand to the mat or a block, left arm up, crescent lunge. Beautiful, twisted crescent lunge. One more breath here. Find a little opening, a little space. Exhale, left hand to the mat. So we're gonna take the back foot from here and pivot it into warrior two. Sweep those arms when you're ready. Make any adjustments to your feet that you need to. And I'm going to try to keep my head face to the side so you're not losing the sound. Take a moment here. Feel your feet on the ground first. Feel that energetic lift from the ground all the way up to the crown of your head. A little softness in the shoulders. And then find that energy spark out the fingertips. Warrior two. Flip the front palm, reach it forward, and then bring it up towards the sky, peaceful warrior. And see if you can sink down a little bit deeper into that lunge, safely, of course, as you find that lift out of the left side rib cage, all the way up to your fingertips. One more breath here. Exhale, back to warrior two. Stay for one breath here. Exhale, drop your arms at your sides. We're gonna step or hop that back foot forward into chair pose. Beautiful. Straighten your knees. Cactus those arms. Broaden the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Halfway lift. And fold. Step your left foot back. Gently lower your back knee. Sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to the mat. Half splits. Lower the front foot. Tuck the back toes. Pick up your back knee. Left hand stays on the mat. Right arm sweeps up into twisting crescent. Right arm to your mat. We're going to pivot that back foot. Nice and easy. Make adjustments to your feet. And then when you're ready, float on up. Warrior two. Right knee over the right ankle, unless that's uncomfortable. As always, do what's best on your body. Tracking that right knee over the right pinky. Finding that opening, that stretch in the inner thigh. And then finding some lift from your feet, connected to the ground all the way up to the crown of your head. Relax the shoulders. Send a little extra energy out your fingertips. Flip the front palm, reach it forward. Come on up, peaceful warrior. Try to maintain that connectedness with the ground as you find that lift up. One more breath here. Exhale to warrior two. Drop your arms down at your sides. Find a little bounce in that back leg. Step or hop it forward. Take chair pose, Utkatasana. See if you can sink just a little deeper this time. Pull your belly button in. Find that length, that energy from your tailbone all the way to your fingertips. Very nice. Straighten your knees. Cactus arms. Exhale. Inhale, arms up and fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms. Step your feet back. Downward facing dog. Stay for just a few breaths here. Check in with yourself. And then shift your weight forward plank. Feel yourself strong, lifting out of this plank. Option here either to lower your knees or take full chaturanga, your choice. I like to lower my knees. And then come into cobra or baby cobra, or up dog if you're feeling it. And then find your way back into downward facing dog. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. And find a half lift. Exhale, fold. Press your feet into the mat. Sweep your arms up overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands at your sides. Take a moment here just to check in with your body, your breath. Ask yourself, am I still breathing? Seems like a silly question, I know, but I ask myself that frequently, especially in yoga class. Take one more nice full breath in, empty it out. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Half lift. Exhale, fold, step that right foot back. This time, if you want, you can keep your back knee lifted or take modified crescent. Either way is fine. Whatever you're doing, sweep your arms up. And if you've remained standing, feel the strength in the ball of that foot. Finding that scooping of the tailbone, squaring of the hips as much as is possible. Very nice. Take one more breath here. Exhale, release hands to the mat. Right hand is going to stay. Left arm draws up, twisting crescent. Beautiful. Lower that hand. Warrior two. Swing those arms up when you're ready. Stay here for just a breath. Feel your feet on the ground first. Flip your front palm, reach it forward. Come on up, peaceful warrior. And while you're here, straighten that front knee. Feel your feet really suction to the mat here. We're going to take it into triangle pose. Imagine hugging your heels together, bringing the arms through warrior two arms. Left knee still stays straight. Reach it forward. Pop that back hip back slightly. Left hand is going to drop down either to the mat, a block, your shin, your calf, whatever feels best. And then imagine rotating that left rib cage forward. Find a comfortable position for the head. And take one more breath here. Trikonasana. Lead with that lifted hand. Power yourself back up to standing. Rebend your front knee. And then we're going to pivot that foot so that it's parallel or pigeon-toed with your other foot. Wide-legged forward fold. Here we go. Walk your hands down your legs and let them drop to the mat. Nice and easy. Find that hinge at the waist. And then find a nice steady breath here. If it feels good and you want to take it further, widen your feet. And if not, just stay right here. You might want to turn your hands around and walk them through your feet, deep in the stretch in those hamstrings. And you might feel a little bit more of a stretch in your spine. Take one more breath. Nice big exhale. If your hands are through the feet, gently turn them around, walk them forward so they're under your nose. And then we're going to walk the hands around to the left foot, pivot those feet forward into a runner's lunge. Plant the palms, step your left foot back, high plank. Full or modified chaturanga. Lower all the way down. Take it into baby cobra or upward dog. Tuck your toes and lift yourself up, downward facing dog. Walk those feet forward. Walk, step, or hop them forward, whatever you choose. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Press those feet into the mat. Sweep yourself all the way up. Hands to your heart center. Hands at your sides, mountain pose. Let's go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Knee can be on the ground or lifted. Come on up. Crescent lunge. If you're standing, feel some power in that back leg. Take one more breath here. Release your hands to the mat. Left hand stays. Right arm draws up towards the sky. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Set your feet up and take it into warrior two. Sweep those arms. And I forgot to mention before that if you feel in warrior two, like you're giving a little too much work to the front leg, you can always transfer, shift some of that to the back leg. Give it a little work too. Flip the front palm, reach it forward. Peaceful warrior. With control, straighten your front knee. Micro bend is fine. Imagine hugging those heels together. Feel your feet firm on the ground and take it into triangle. Reach that right hand forward. Pop the back hip back slightly. Right hand drops down either to the mat, a block, your shin, your calf, whatever feels good today. Find a little lightness in that right hand. The natural tendency is to kind of prop on this leg. See if you can lift up and out of it. Yeah. And then find that gentle rotation in the right rib cage. Lead with that lifted hand, come back up. Find a little bend in that right knee. We're going to rotate the right knee or the right foot so that it's parallel or pigeon-toed with the left foot. Walking the hands down, hinge at the waist. Let them come all the way down. Let your head dangle. And then do what feels good here. Do what feels right. Maybe you want to walk your hands over to the right foot, draw your nose toward your knee. Feel that nice, juicy stretch in your left rib cage. And then, of course, if you did the right side, you want to walk your hands through center and then over to the left foot. Breathe into the right side of the rib cage. Feel that nice, beautiful, deep stretch. And then walk your hands back to center when you're ready. Slowly walk your hands over to the right foot. Pivot those toes forward into that runner's lunge. Plant your palms and send that right foot back. Full or modified chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Tuck toes, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Feel, notice all the work you did here today. Maybe you want to drop your heels over to one side. And then maybe over to the other side. I say did, but we're still here. We've still got like some time. We're not done. And when you're ready, lift your heels. Lower your knees, nice and controlled. Take child's pose again. Send those hips back. Walk your hands forward. Let your head and your heart melt towards the floor. Let the outline of your body connect with the ground. Notice your breath while you're here. Take one more breath in and release it. Slowly lift your hips back up. Walk your hands in. Walk your knees in. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog. And then gently walk your hands back to meet your feet. Into that ragdoll pose. Staying here for just a moment. And then slowly, steadily round and roll your way up to standing. We're going to do a little bit of standing balance. So if you need to step off your mat, if you need a chair or a wall, go ahead and grab those. Do what you need to do. And then come back to mountain pose with me. I'll turn and face the camera. Starting with the feet about hip width distance. And we'll just start with a little lift of the heels, just alternating, lifting the heels. Feel the standing foot on the ground. Really pay attention to that. And while you're here, maybe find that spot on the wall or the floor in front of you for your drishti, for your gaze. Nice, steady, soft gaze. And then find your breath. Let's do that little pedaling motion one more time, each side. And then finally, we're gonna send our weight into the right foot. Find some lift from the right foot. Allow the toes to be light. Keep that left heel lifted. And then turn your knee out to the side. Tree pose today. Let's keep it simple. Bring your hands to your heart center. Press the palms into one another, elbows wide. Tongue to the roof of your mouth if that helps. And then walk your foot in. Take it up as high as is comfortable. Just as always, not on the knee. So maybe you want to bring it to the calf or the inner thigh. Bring a little gentle smile to your face. No judgments, only balance. And then maybe you want to take your hands up or down or all around, whatever feels right to you. Very nice. Take one more breath here. Whoa. Bring hands to heart center. And then gently with control, release that foot. And then if you need to, rock your feet out. Beautiful. Shake them out. And let's start that little pedal again. And the purpose for that really is just to feel your standing foot on the ground as you lift the other heel. Just notice that standing foot, the four corners of the feet, as they say in Ashtanga. And we'll take one or two to each side. And as you complete those rounds, shift your weight over onto your left foot. Keep that right heel lifted. And then take that knee out to the side wall. I just realized I'm not mirroring you guys, and I'm so sorry for that. Bring your hands to your heart center. Press the palms into one another. Elbows out to the side. Get that drishti, that nice focused gaze, soft focused gaze. Bring your foot up to wherever feels natural, wherever feels good for you today. And then allow your hands to float to wherever it feels good for you. If the mind doesn't agree with it, then just focus on your breath. Always bringing that focus back around to the breathing when all else fails. You guys are amazing. Take one more breath in. Beautiful. Exhale. Bring your hands back to your heart center. Slowly release that foot to the ground and rock your feet if you need to. Shake them out. Give them a little massage. Little floor massage. And let's come back to the back of the mat. Sweep those arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Hands to the mat. And then nice and easy, walk them forward. Back into downward facing dog, my favorite. See if you can soften your heels down just a little bit more. Spread those fingers wide. Let your head dangle nicely here. And find the breath. Find the breath throughout the entire body. Maybe take a sigh. And then from there, when you're ready, lift your heels, lower your knees, nice, slow, controlled lowering. Give everything a little bop side to side. And then swing the legs out to one side or crisscross your ankles, come over into a seat. We're going to keep the knees nice and bent on this first forward fold. Nice deep bend in the knees. Catch hold of the fronts of the knees. Inhale, find some lift up through the heart. And exhale, walk your hands forward. Catch your feet, ankles, or calves. Let your head dangle between the knees. Take one more breath here. Slowly let go of those feet, ankles, or calves. Walk your hands back up. And then walk your feet out a little bit longer, sitting nice and tall. We're going to point the toes straight up to the sky. Knees can be bent here. I like to keep mine a little bit bent, so feel free to find that micro bend, or you can press them straight down. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Find that lift up, lengthening in the spine, and fold it forward. Hands either come to the mat or catch hold of those toes. Notice what you can soften here. You notice any gripping, any tension that arises in your shoulders and your face muscles. Can you let go of some of that? Find a little ease. Can you soften the low back? Soften the neck. Find space for the breath. Slowly release hold of those toes. Slide your hands up your legs. Coming back into a nice tall lifted spine. Walk those feet in. Walk your hips a little bit closer to your feet. Round and roll your way all the way down. Arms reaching out forward. Pull that belly in nice and tight. And come all the way down. And then send some gratitude to the floor. The beautiful, beautiful floor. Snuggle your shoulders in. Walk your feet in so your heels are close to your hips. And allow your toes to point in whatever direction feels best for your bridge pose, because we're going to obviously go into bridge pose. Arms alongside your hips, palms face down. Press those feet down into the mat. Press your hands down and lift your hips up. Lift the tailbone, pelvic floor first. Feel your shoulder blades grounded with the floor. And maybe snuggle your shoulders in just a little bit more. Find some height if that feels okay. Feel your knees reaching long. And the top of your head reaching long, away from the knees. Take one breath here. Exhale, slowly lower it down, one vertebra at a time. And then from here, either knees into the chest or take bound angle pose. Stay for a breath. If you're in bound angle pose, help your knees together and then pull them into the chest. And then we're going to set the feet down and do one more bridge. Arms alongside the hips. Lift those hips up when you're ready. Scoop the tailbone, lift up the pelvic floor. Snuggle your shoulders under if you want a little extra height. And soften your chin away from your chest. So we're not constricting the flow of breath. Find that length from knees to head. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, slowly soften the sternum, lower one vertebra at a time. And then maybe hug your knees into your chest or take that bound angle pose if that felt good. If your knees are in your chest, go ahead and rock them side to side. Come back to center. Back to a little stillness. Keep that right knee in towards your chest. Send your left foot long onto the mat. Allow your heel to ground down. And then we'll take it for a supine twist. Right arm out to your side. Left knee is going to draw over towards the right. Remember, you can take any variation, any modification if you want. It's always an option to take both knees together or to straighten the right leg once you're there, if that feels okay on your spine, if that feels safe on your knee, your hip. Take one more breath here. Find some length. And as you exhale, very gently bring your knee back into your chest. Draw your left knee in to meet it. And then send the right foot down to the end of the mat. Send that leg, let it soften down. Left knee drawing in towards the chest. When you're ready, right hand to the outside of the left knee, left arm goes straight out to your side. Slowly draw that left knee over to the side, to the right, in reclined supine twist. Take a few breaths here. Allow for some opening in the spine. Enjoy this moment and every moment after. Slowly, gently draw your knee back into your left knee back into your chest. Draw your right knee up in to meet it, and maybe take a little gentle rock side to side. Happy baby. Happy baby or half happy baby, whichever you feel. So if you're taking full happy baby, you can grab the blade edges of the feet, your big toe, your inner arches, or you can bring your hands down to the backs of your thighs and just gently press those knees towards the ground. There's lots of options for happy baby. There's lots of options for every pose, and that's what I love so much about yoga, besides everything about yoga. It's a practice for everyone. And because this is happy baby, maybe you want to rock side to side. Maybe you want to grab onto those big toes and give yourself a gentle rock side to side. Maybe, giggle to yourself, whatever happy babies like to do. Have some fun with it. As long as you're being kind to your body, that's all I care about. And if you're rocking, if you're swinging, come back to center, find a little stillness, and then draw those knees together. Take some circles in one direction. And then take some circles in the opposite direction. Hug your knees back into your chest one last time. One nice big hug. Show yourself some love. And then from here, slowly bring your feet back down to the mat. Walk them out to the edges of the mat. Maybe take a few windshield wipers side to side. Allow that motion to smooth out. Allow it to float. Those knees to float from one side to the other. And then from here, take any last movements, any last postures for the next 30 seconds or so before we move into Shavasana, our final rest pose for the class. Do whatever calls to you, yogi's choice. And if you do an asymmetrical pose, as always, be sure to do it on both sides. I'm not playing on my phone, I promise. I'm just starting my stopwatch for Shavasana. So wherever you're at in your last posture, go ahead and wind it down. Set those feet back on the mat. And then find the Shavasana that speaks to you. So if your back is a little cranky today, maybe you want to take a constructive rest. That's always nice on a cranky low back. Or you can take reclined cobbler's pose, bow mingle pose, or just traditional Shavasana. Fun fact, I once took Shavasana in Jess's class with legs up the wall on the wall, and I fell asleep and I got that sensation like I was falling. And it was the weirdest sensation. I've not done that since. But if you ever want to try it, just be aware that that might happen. So as everyone settles in to Shavasana, take a moment just to find that restful place again in your body. Letting go of any last bit of tension in the face, the neck, the shoulders. Allow that softness and that ease to drift down into your arms, your hands, your fingertips. Allow softness to enter your heart space, your abdominals, solar plexus. Let your hips soften, your legs, your feet, toes. If you feel called to do so, start to wiggle your toes and your fingers, bringing awareness back into your body, your physical self, and the space surrounding you. If not, you're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. But if you feel ready, maybe stretch your arms and your legs. Find that good morning stretch. That sense, that gentle sense of waking everything back up, coming back to the present. Perhaps rolling onto one side to rest in a fetal position for just a moment. Or just finding your way back up into a seat in whatever manner suits you best. And as you come back into the seat, back into that space, take a nice deep breath in, fill your lungs and your belly with air. and empty it out. Let go of any stale air, any stale thoughts, anything that won't serve you for the rest of your day, your week. Inviting in joy and love, peace. And when you're ready, bring your hands to your heart center. In Anjali Mudra, bow your head to your heart. And just take a moment to breathe in some words of love and gratitude to yourself for all the hard work you've done, for taking time out of your life for self care, for showing up. And it's with deepest humility and gratitude that I extend my appreciation and thanks and love to you all for sharing your time with me today, and for Jessica for allowing me this opportunity to share my love of yoga, this beautiful practice with you all today. Thank you so much for being here. Gently lift your head and open your eyes, and I bow to you and I say namaste.